Grab your carry-on bag and your one personal item because you and I are taking a whirlwind trip around the globe to discover where pro wrestling is this month. I'm Mike Quackenbush. This is Till We Make It. And since last time we ended our journey in Massachusetts, that's exactly where we're going to begin today. The most bodacious, the most totally radical, the most 90s-rific wrestling promotion out there, Rad Pro Wrestling, is back. They play Amesbury, Massachusetts on October 19th with the forebodingly titled card, A Deal with the Devil. Leadership of the Lost Toys stable is at stake when CJ Cruz locks up with Max. And I want you to know this graphic doesn't really do justice to the full aesthetic of Rad Pro Wrestling. Just take a look at their website for a second. Look how painstakingly they coded this thing to make it reflect the 90s vibe. I love it. A brand new wrestling promotion, Royalty Wrestling, debuts on October 26th, right up the road from me here in Sellersville, PA. I could get there in half an hour. And this card will feature the most underrated wrestler of the last 2 decades, Hallowicked. And that's not all. Rookie sensations are set to square off. Jet Matthews has been cleared for takeoff.
23 months ago, Dirty Love, you and I met right here at the Wrestle Factory, where I began my dream as a professional wrestler. And during those 23 months, all I've heard is you run your mouth time and time again, saying the most disgusting and vile things the human mind can think of. And October 26th at Fright Night, I am first in line, and I am more than excited to be the one who finally gets to shut your mouth.
If we head south, we'll find A Nightmare at the Grove on October 12th as Firestar Pro Wrestling returns to Climax, North Carolina. And they've loaded up with 4 championship title matches. A whole bunch of gold is on the line. The FSPW Southeastern title will be up for grabs. The tag belts will be defended as Brutality Inc. takes on the challenge of the Colemans. The FSPW Women's title will be contested. And for the Heavyweight Championship, Jackson Drake defends against #1 contender, Manny Lowe. Now, I know Jackson Drake might look like some fresh-faced rookie, but in reality, he's been wrestling for 7 years already. And this year, I think he's one of the Mid-Atlantic region's most improved wrestlers. Keep your eye on that guy. Let's set sail. We'll cross the equator heading for the City of Gold. On Monday, October 7th, we will crown the King of Africa. If you've been following African Punishment Wrestling Association's weekly YouTube series, Anarchy, you have seen this tournament progress week after week, and the finals take place at Copy Park, inside the McLaren Circus in Johannesburg, South Africa. And if the tournament finals don't already have you sufficiently hyped, how about this? A ladder match for the APWA Performance Championship will be conducted on this exact same card. The first wrestler to scale that 15-foot ladder and come down with the title belt will be the undisputed champion. Moving on up a continent, let's check in on one of the fastest growing European independents, ZMAC Pro Wrestling. They are set to tape 2 more episodes of their series, which streams exclusively on Ant1 Plus. ZMAC is based out of Piraeus, Greece, basically minutes away from Athens, and they filmed their show inside the Rail Entertainment Television Studio, a gorgeous facility. They're going to capture 2 cards on October 12th. There isn't a bad seat in the house. A few hours north in Austria, Rings of Europe are celebrating their 20th anniversary with a massive card called WrestleClash Maxima. And it's going to be held in the town that I most associate with the Rings of Europe promotion, Bad Vazlau. Throughout the summer, Rings of Europe has been steadily building momentum toward WrestleClash with a series of outdoor events. And WrestleClash Maxima will be headlined by 2 main events, one of which will feature the 3rd encounter between Mexberg and Martin Payne. And Martin has his work cut out for him. Mexberg has been champion for 2 years now, and he's basically mowed down every contender to his title like a pro wrestling Terminator. This will be their third encounter. The two Austrians are tied at 1 win apiece. This match for the title will settle it once and for all. Let's look in on the UK circuit, shall we? South Wales Pro Wrestling is the newest Welsh independent. They were birthed onto the scene by the team at Attack, and even though they're only a few months old, they've already begun acquiring a fervent fan following with their family-friendly events. That had a lot more alliteration in it than I suspected it would. On October 3rd, they play the Canton Liberal Club in Cardiff, Wales. They've got 4 matches on tap, one of which is a battle royal. These cards are short and sweet, and they never overstay their welcome. And if you decide to check out this newest Welsh promotion, head to the venue a couple minutes early, because next door to the Canton Liberal Club is Hardlines Cafe. Do yourself a favor, order the Canton Stormy, tell Gareth Mike says hello. Just across the Bristol Channel from Cardiff, Wales, British Kingdom Pro Wrestling makes landfall in Portishead, England on October 19th. Their reigning junior heavyweight champion, Nico Angelo, has a target painted on him, and it has been painted there by Prince Phoenix, who recently acquired the services of a mountain of a man, this man, Mulligan. A few weeks ago, when they were in Swindon, Prince Phoenix made his title ambitions crystal clear to the capacity crowd on hand, and I, for one, cannot wait for the inevitable clash between reigning champ Nico Angelo and Prince Phoenix. Soaring toward the Middle East, let's make a quick stop in Doha for Boomsday. Qatar Pro Wrestling is back on October 4th at the Beat Studio, where 1D is signed to face Ali Reza, and Tito Haytham has the tall task of doing battle with Shaheen. If you've been paying close attention to the international circuit this year, then you know Shaheen has really caught fire. And though he's known as the ace of the Middle East, he is hardly locked into that region. So far this year, he's wrestled in 8 different countries, and he's going to rack up 2 more before the year is out. Very impressive. If we travel eastward, another 6,000 kilometers or so, we find Vietnam Pro Wrestling delivering Brawl Hallows Eve once again in Ho Chi Minh City. Now, last year's edition of Brawl Hallows Eve featured a wild tag team bout, the Trick or Treat Street Fight, and I'm really curious to see if they can top it this year. Vietnam Pro Wrestling will be live once again on October 26th. On the other side of the South China Sea, DexCon has a doubleheader in store for Manila in the Philippines, October 12th and October 13th, with 2 very differently themed cards. On October 12th, they've got the spookiest card of the season, Graveyard Shift, and the very next day, they put the women front and center with Jam of the Joshis. DexCon has been quietly building steam over the course of the last 7 months, coming out of their event, WrestleStorm, where they saw wrestlers from all over, DDT in Japan, set up in Thailand, and more, visit to augment their Filipino crew. At Jam of the Joshis, Joya is set for action against the Vixens champion, the one and only Alexis Friggin Lee. Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, and the month of October means Season 3 of Monday Magic. The Monday Magic project really picked up a fan following earlier this year during Season 2, where they had event after event characterized by surprise matches and some pretty crazy cameos too. Back in May, they certainly caught my attention with the reunion of Tenkoji. That's Hiroyoshi Tenzan and Satoshi Kojima. 2 decorated veterans of the pro-wrest scene reformed their tag team to challenge Jack Morris and Anthony Green for the GHC tag team titles. And the first big title match has already been signed for Monday, October 14th. That's when the 3-time Global Honored Crown champion, Kaito Kiyomiya, faces the challenge of powerhouse Masa Kitamiya. If you happen to be in Tokyo, Shinjuku Face is the venue. Otherwise, stream along live on Wrestle Universe. And what's happening down in South America? Well, Brazil's resilient Evolution Wrestling Force will play Porto Alegre on October 19th. Like so many companies in southern Brazil and northern Uruguay, EWF was hit hard by the devastating floods which struck this region back in April and May. But there's just no stopping the EWF team. They are back in action at last. It seemed as if decorated Brazilian veteran Obacan was set to hang up his boots and head off into retirement. That is until his protege, Arthur Donner, proposed a team-up.
Oh yeah, it's dinner time! My name is Arthur Donner, and I invite all of you to watch AWF Halloween Special. Watch as me and my tag partner, Obacan, go through our journey for the tag team titles. Don't miss it!
Now it seems as if Obacan and Arthur Donner are on the cusp of championship glory. We will find out if they have what it takes at Halloween Brutal's sudden death. The next night, October 20th, the Pride of Temuco, Hit Lucha Libre, has a stacked card in store for southern Chile. The match I am most intrigued to see is the triple threat free-for-all for the Campeonatos en Equipos. Those are their tag team titles. If you want to see what Hit Lucha Libre is all about, they post complete cards, every single match of theirs, for free to their YouTube channel, a link to which is appearing up above so you can get all caught up with Hit Lucha Libre. So where else is wrestling happening? You know we've barely scratched the surface with this video. Will you tell me about a wrestling event near you? Maybe one you're performing on? Down below in the comments right now? And then get out and support local wrestling. You know who doesn't need your support? Big corporations like the WWE, AEW, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. You know who does need your support? All the local independent wrestling organizations around the globe vying for your attention, for your fandom. Show them some love. Check out the companies I mentioned in this video and the ones nearest you too.